Hey, I'm Katrina and I'm here from the European Women's Lobby to send all of our solidarity and support for the women and girls across the Ukraine who are campaigning today for the Nordic model or the equality model on prostitution. At the European Women's Lobby, a women's rights organisation representing over 2,000 groups across Europe working for a Europe free from prostitution, we recognise that the sex trade is inherently harmful. It's a core part of the continuum of violence against women and girls experienced all across the world. This is why it's so important that we activists can come together and really show political leaders why this is such an important issue. It's so often invisible in society, so we need to make sure that we can lift the voices of survivors, show the reality of the sex trade, that it isn't something invisible that doesn't exist. We know it's happening in every town and city across the world. So this is a conversation that needs to be had. We recognise that prostitution is a system that is sexist, classist, racist. It is at the intersection of so many different forms of oppression, and so it's one that simply cannot be allowed to be promoted and to continue to exist. We need to come up with real solutions that can actually offer an alternative for women and girls directly affected. This is why we work across Europe for promotion of the Nordic model or the equality model, which not only recognises the need to decriminalise those affected by the sex trade, to make sure that there is resourcing for supports for education, counselling, healthcare, exit supports, career advancement, to make sure that there are real alternatives that are actually tangible for those women and girls. But we also need to recognise the harm that is being caused. We need to hold to account buyers, pimps, traffickers, all of those who seek to use male power and dominance to exploit, coerce and utilise women and girls' bodies. We need to make sure that empowerment is at the centre of everything that we're talking about and we're driving for real impact. This is why we've been so glad to see the real changes that have been happening across Europe in recent years. There's been significant mobilisation at grassroots level, and these campaigns have led to real legislative change. We've seen the Nordic model being brought in France, Ireland, in addition to Nordic countries, and more states are beginning to consider these law changes. We're seeing political support, but we need the activism happening on the grassroots to continue to lift these voices. This is why we're so happy to send our solidarity, support and hope across the seas, across the land, and we're really hoping that there's going to be change coming soon so that we can be together for a Europe free from prostitution.